Welcome to the third video in the video series of ZDare Challenge. In this video, we will learn how to spot opportunities. As an entrepreneur, it is a very important skill to know where you can find challenges and opportunities to create your business idea. So how can you do this? Basically, there are 4 different ways that you can use to do this. First of all, finding a problem, improving an existing idea through an experience that you have, or through passion that you have for something. So, one way to come up with a business idea is through tackling existing problems in the communities you're living in. So for instance, Walid, the CEO of Mum, came up with an idea to create a platform where people seeking healthy meals at their work can connect with housewives that can cook these meals for them. The idea came to Walid when he witnessed that people around him at work are complaining about junk food that they are eating every day. So another way of introducing a new idea to the market is through improving an existing idea or reintroducing some business ideas into new market segments and customers. For an example, Tariq Safwat is an Egyptian entrepreneur who was living in Hong Kong when he first tried the idea of going to escape rooms. When he came back to Egypt, he started the first Egyptian escape room called Breakout Egypt, and then many others followed, creating a whole new industry of escape rooms in the country. Another model is combining an existing idea with an experience you have. For an example, there's an Egyptian entrepreneur called Ali Abu Nasr. He studied sports management in England, and his graduation project was about combining a sport with an impairment. And when he came back to Egypt, he introduced for the first time football for people with sight impairment, and it was a huge success. So another way to come up with a business idea is through passion. What does this mean? If you are passionate about something, that means you're willing to put hours of hard work without getting bored or tired of it. To give an example, Azza Fahmi, a famous Egyptian jewelry designer, she had a passion for the Egyptian culture and heritage, and this is why she started her own brand more than 50 years ago. Today, Azza designs more than 40,000 pieces of jewelry a year that are sold all over the world. She is a model, not only for Egyptian women, but for every woman on earth. So now, after understanding the different ways of coming up with ideas, it is time to start working on a methodology that will show us the way of how to start extracting information from the surrounding. So now, it's time for action. First of all, bring a piece of paper and a pen and start thinking about how many problems do you face on a daily basis. And remember, the first rule in brainstorming to come up with good business ideas is to write as many ideas as you can. It's not about quality, it's about quantity. So let's start by writing down all the problems that you have in mind right now. So after writing down all the things that you have in mind, now it's time to start separating them. First, create 3 different columns. One that shows the problems, and others that shows the solutions, and the other one is showing the pain points. What you need to do next is to take every single sentence and put it as a problem, and then start analyzing it to see what are the pain points within each problem. After doing this for all the problems, showing the different pain points, it's time to start creating and suggesting some solutions. So start creating solutions for each pain point and each problem. Following that, choose the top 3 problems and solutions that you would like to tackle. After doing this, if you're doing this exercise in a team, you need to consult your team members. Make sure to consult your team members after doing the exercise, not before. This will help each one of you come up with different ideas that are not impacted by the way others in the team are thinking. After extracting the different ideas and the different problems from your brain, it is time to assess, are these ideas really worth creating or not? So how do we do this? To start with, you need to see if there is a market size for what you're proposing. What does this mean? It means, are there enough people willing to pay money to get your service? Are there enough people willing to actually use their service even if they don't have to pay? How many are these people? You need to quantify them. Quantification is a very important tool to understand your market size. Moving to the next phase, it is very important to understand the size of the competition out there. So, to put it in a simple way, if you have competitors, you need to make sure to mention them, because this means you really understand the product. But the more important part is you need to understand if you can beat these competitors or not really. Otherwise, you are probably wasting your time. The next question you should probably ask yourself is, am I passionate about this? So why do you need to ask yourself this question? Basically, as an entrepreneur, you will get to spend hours and hours working on whatever you're doing. So it's better to be passionate. Otherwise, you will get bored after some time, you will be burned out, and you will not continue doing what you're doing. So passion is a very important thing that you always need to keep in mind. Moving forward, what's the next important thing? It's basically feasibility. What does this mean? It means, are you going to be able to deliver on what you're saying? Is what you're saying and imagining feasible to be able to happen? So if you need some technical expertise that you do not currently have, or you need to add new members, it's not a big problem. Probably you can find people who can help you. But the least you can do is to make sure that you can make it happen. Once you answer all of these questions, you will be ready to move to the next stage of the video series. So get ready and see you at the next video.